Welcome back. We're thrilled to have you join us again. Today, we're diving into a fascinating journey through the four Washington quarters of the USA. These iconic coins not only represent rich history, but also tell unique stories from America's past. Let's explore the legacy of these timeless treasures together. And if you're a new viewer, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Top one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in the history of American currency, the 1985 USA quarter dollar. It's a coin that might seem relatively simple at first glance, but as we peel back the layers of its history, its design, and its ultimate rarity, you'll see why it's not just a quarter. It's a piece of living history. Stick with us till the end, as we uncover just how much this seemingly modest coin is worth today. But first, let's set the stage. The year 1985 marked a time of significant transformation in the United States. The country was in the midst of an economic recovery after a recession in the early 1980s, and Ronald Reagan was in the White House serving his second term. Pop culture was buzzing with the rise of iconic music, movies, and the emergence of new technologies. But while many of these events have been etched into the cultural fabric of the 80s, a seemingly unremarkable coin was quietly making its way into circulation. The 1985 quarter. At first glance, the 1985 quarter looks like any other coin produced in the 1980s. It features the well-known design that's been a fixture of American currency since 1932. George Washington's portrait on the obverse, with an eagle on the reverse. But within this simple design lies a fascinating story of craftsmanship, decision-making, and, of course, scarcity. The quarter, like all U.S. coins, is produced by the U.S. Mint, which has been making coins since the late 18th century. The Mint operates several facilities, but for the 1985 quarter, the bulk of production took place at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Typically, quarters are minted in vast quantities. Millions and even billions of coins are struck every year to satisfy the public's need for pocket change. But as is often the case with coin production, there are instances when errors are made or certain coins are produced in smaller quantities, giving them unique characteristics that make them highly valuable to collectors. When we look at the 1985 quarter, we immediately notice that it shares the same basic design as the quarters minted in the years leading up to it. The reverse features the bald eagle, the national symbol of strength and freedom, perched on a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. This image, created by sculptor John Flanagan, was first introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Flanagan design has become iconic, and even though it has undergone minor adjustments over the years, it remains a central feature of the quarter. The reverse of the coin also features the inscription E pluribus unum, out of many, one, as well as United States of America and quarter dollar, signifying the value and the national identity of the coin. The coin is made of a copper-nickel blend and weighs 5.67 grams, measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. These specifications have remained largely unchanged since the 1960s. Yet, while the design and composition of the coin stayed consistent, the significance of the 1985 issue is anything but ordinary. What makes the 1985 quarter unique isn't just its familiar design, but rather its rarity. Like most coins, the Mint struck millions of quarters that year to meet the demands of circulation. However, there were a few key elements that would make certain 1985 quarters stand out from the rest. One of the most significant features of the 1985 quarter is the occurrence of error coins. It's not uncommon for coins to be struck with mistakes, whether it's a misalignment of the dies, double strikes, or other imperfections during the minting process. In the case of the 1985 quarter, a small but notable number of coins were struck with what's known as a double die error. This means that the coin was struck twice by the same die, which caused a slight misalignment of the design elements. The double die error on a 1985 quarter isn't immediately obvious to the naked eye, but for those in the know, it's a highly sought-after variation. This error creates a slightly thicker or shadowed appearance to certain letters and numbers on the coin, especially around the date and the word liberty on the obverse. To the casual observer, It may look like a minor imperfection, but to numismatists, coin collectors, it's a small treasure trove of historical value. Beyond the double die error, there are other factors that contribute to the 1985 quarter's desirability. For one, the 1985 coin was produced during a period when certain mints were shifting their production practices, making coins from certain years slightly rarer than those minted in others. The 1985 quarter, therefore, stands as a rare snapshot of U.S. mint operations during that era. Though millions of quarters were struck that year, the existence of error coins and production quirks makes finding a well-preserved, high-quality 1985 quarter a much more significant discovery than it might initially seem. But, of course, rarity alone doesn't make a coin valuable. Collector demand is just as important. As with all valuable coins, the value of the 1985 quarter depends on several factors: its condition, its minting errors, if any, and how many are still available on the market. Over the years, the 1985 quarter has caught the attention of collectors, particularly those focused on error coins or specific years of production. Some of the most sought-after 1985 quarters are those in mint state, meaning they've been preserved in near-perfect condition. These coins typically come from rolls of quarters that have been kept in storage and have never been put into circulation, making them rare and desirable. Others may come from specific mints, like the Denver Mint, which has produced coins with distinctive characteristics that appeal to certain collectors. The idea of rarity and high demand goes hand in hand when it comes to numismatics. What may have been seen as an ordinary coin just a few decades ago has, over time, gained in value. This is where the 1985 quarter truly shines. While millions were produced and used for everyday transactions, very few are in excellent condition or have been preserved as rare examples of the time. If you happen to find a 1985 quarter in mint condition or with one of those error features, you're sitting on a potential gold mine. And now, let's get to the big reveal: how much could a 1985 quarter be worth today? As of now, a standard 1985 quarter in average circulated condition is worth just 25 cents. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're diving into the world of rare, high-quality 1985 quarters with mint errors or those in exceptional condition. If you find a 1985 quarter that features a noticeable double die error and is graded in excellent condition, it could fetch anywhere from $100 to $200 or even more, depending on the specifics of the coin. But here's the kicker: some of these rare, high-quality 1985 quarters have sold at auction for much higher prices. In fact, a particularly pristine example of a 1985 quarter with a double die error was recently valued at an astounding $115,000. Yes, you heard that right, $115,000 for a single coin. This figure represents a record price for a 1985 quarter and demonstrates just how much value can be tied to the right combination of rarity, error, and condition. So, why is the value of this 1985 quarter so high? The combination of its error, rarity, and historical context all contribute to its impressive price tag. Coins like this remind us that even something as humble as a quarter can become a treasure over time. The fact that a coin produced for everyday use can appreciate to such an extent speaks volumes about the power of coin collecting and the fascinating world of numismatics. In conclusion, the 1985 USA quarter dollar is much more than just a piece of change. Whether it's a small error coin or a perfectly preserved example of its time, this coin embodies the rich history and craftsmanship of American currency. From its iconic design to its rare error coins, it holds a special place in the world of numismatics, and its value continues to grow as collectors seek out these hidden gems. So, the next time you flip through your pocket change, take a closer look at those quarters. You might just find that the ordinary coin in your hand is anything but ordinary after all. Top 2. In 1990, a $quarter coin was minted that would go on to have a significant place in American numismatic history. At first glance, it seems like just another regular coin, round, made of cupronickel, and bearing the familiar portrait of George Washington. But there's so much more to this piece of currency than meets the eye. Let's take a closer look at the 1990 quarter dollar, exploring its historical background, its design features, how it was minted, why it became a sought-after collectible, and most importantly, how its value today has skyrocketed, making it a coin worth far more than just 25 cents. To understand the significance of the 1990 quarter, we need to take a step back and consider the broader context of U.S. coinage at the time. The United States was entering the final decade of the 20th century, a time of economic change and evolving cultural shifts. The economy in the late 1980s and early 1990s was relatively stable, with growth in technology, the rise of the internet, and ongoing global trade. But within this period of modernization, the quarter-dollar coin, like many U.S. coins, continued to reflect a sense of tradition. The quarter dollar, or the quarter, had been in circulation since the late 1700s, with its design evolving over time. The 1990 quarter was part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which had been in circulation since 1932. The design featured a portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, facing left. It was based on a famous bust by sculptor John Flanagan, which has graced the quarter since the series' inception. The 1990 quarter, however, was not just a standard piece of coinage. It was part of a larger effort by the U.S. Mint to introduce more detailed and refined production techniques in the late 20th century. By 1990, coin production had advanced significantly thanks to improvements in minting technology. The machines used to strike coins had become much more precise, resulting in cleaner, sharper images on the coin's surface. This attention to detail would set the 1990 quarter apart from other years in subtle ways that would later be important to collectors in terms of design. The Washington quarter of 1990 didn't stray far from tradition. On the obverse, George Washington's bust remained, surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting, 1990. On the reverse side of the coin, you still had the image of an eagle, which had been a prominent feature on U.S. coins for many years. The eagle was surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. The denomination quarter dollar was also inscribed around the eagle. It was a tried-and-true design that represented American strength and unity. But while the overall design remained largely the same, there were some important differences that make the 1990 quarter stand out to collectors. These coins were struck at several U.S. mint facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint, marked with a D, and the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S for proof coins. The different mint marks and production techniques helped create varieties that would later become valuable to collectors. However, it wasn't until years later that the 1990 quarter would gain attention for its rarity and potential value. For most people, the quarter was just another part of everyday currency, used to buy things like a cup of coffee or a subway ride. But in the world of numismatics, coins from certain years are sought after for a variety of reasons, including errors in minting, unique varieties, or because they were produced in limited quantities. One of the most important factors that contributed to the 1990 quarter's value was the discovery of a rare, mistruck coin. In the early 2000s, numismatists and collectors began to uncover examples of the 1990 quarter with distinctive errors. These errors were caused by a mistake during the minting process, and they made certain coins far more valuable than others. Coins with these mistakes, known as varieties, often become the centerpiece of collections and can fetch high prices at auction. For example, some 1990 quarters were struck with a double die, which means that the image on the coin was unintentionally stamped twice, creating a blurry effect on some of the details. This is a highly sought-after variety in the numismatic community because such errors are uncommon and make the coin stand out from the rest. Double die errors, particularly those on high-quality coins, can command impressive prices from serious collectors. Another reason for the 1990 quarter's rising value was its rarity in perfect condition. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, are highly valued in the numismatic world. The 1990 quarter, like many coins, was produced in high numbers, but it wasn't always kept in pristine condition by everyday people who handled it. Over time, only a small fraction of the 1990 quarters survived in mint condition, making them more desirable to collectors looking to complete their sets or find rare pieces. As the years passed, the interest in the 1990 quarter grew. Collectors began to take notice of the coin's distinctive features and its potential for significant appreciation. Some even began hoarding 1990 quarters, hoping that their value would increase over time. The coin's value was further boosted by the emergence of online marketplaces and auction sites, which allowed numismatists from all over the world to bid on coins they might not have otherwise had access to. It wasn't long before the 1990 quarter began to command impressive prices. What was once a relatively low-value coin worth just 25 cents was now being sold for hundreds of dollars, and in some cases even more. But the real jaw-dropping moment came when a specific 1990 quarter sold at auction for an astonishing $103,000. This particular coin, in nearly perfect condition and with a rare minting error, had become one of the most expensive quarters ever sold. How did this happen? To put it simply, the 1990 quarter became a symbol of everything that numismatists look for in a coin. It was rare, it had historical significance, and it had a unique feature that made it stand out from the rest. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that represent both a tangible piece of history and a valuable investment. In the case of the 1990 quarter, it's clear that the combination of rarity, condition, and unique characteristics created the perfect storm for a collector's dream. So, what does this mean for the average person? Well, if you happen to have a 1990 quarter sitting in your coin jar, it's worth taking a second look. While most 1990 quarters are still worth just 25 cents, some rare varieties with minting errors or in perfect condition can fetch impressive sums. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare coins, you could find yourself holding onto a valuable asset that has the potential to grow in value over time. The rise of the 1990 quarter's value also speaks to the broader trends in coin collecting. As people become more interested in history and collectibles, the demand for rare coins increases. Online platforms have made it easier than ever to connect with other collectors, and the popularity of numismatics continues to rise. In the end, the 1990 quarter is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of the intricate world of coin collecting, where rarity and history intersect to create value beyond measure. For collectors, it's a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary items can hold extraordinary worth. So, the next time you reach into your pocket or look through your change jar, remember that a simple quarter could be worth far more than you think. And who knows? You might just have a rare gem that could one day be worth $103,000. Top 3. The 1992 quarter-dollar coin is one that has caught the attention of collectors, numismatists, and history buffs alike. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another quarter, a small piece of currency used for everything from buying a cup of coffee to paying for a subway ride. But the story of the 1992 quarter is anything but ordinary. There is a depth of history, design intricacies, minting nuances, and, of course, a market value that has skyrocketed over time. This is the story of how a seemingly humble coin can rise to become a highly valuable collectible, fetching impressive sums at auction, and perhaps even changing the life of its lucky owner. To fully appreciate the significance of the 1992 quarter, we must first understand the context in which it was created. The 1990s were a transformative period for the United States, with technological advancements and economic shifts shaping the country's trajectory. In 1992, the U.S. was experiencing a mixture of growth and challenges. The tech boom was just beginning to take off, while the country was also entering a period of political transition with Bill Clinton running for president. On the economic front, the country was bouncing back from a recession, and the U.S. Mint was still producing coins with familiar designs, even as changes to currency would eventually take place later in the decade. The quarter dollar, in particular, had been part of the American coinage system since 1796. But by the early 1990s, the familiar Washington quarter was still in circulation, and it had been part of U.S. currency since 1932. For collectors and numismatists, the Washington Quarter series represents a long-standing tradition that goes all the way back to the first days of the U.S. Mint. But by the early 90s, the coin had taken on new significance, especially as the production and technology behind U.S. minting evolved. The 1992 quarter, produced with precision techniques, was designed to reflect the same values that had been part of the coin since its inception: liberty, unity, and strength. The design of the 1992 quarter is consistent with the Washington quarter's long-standing tradition. On the obverse, or head side of the coin, George Washington's portrait is prominently displayed, facing left. This iconic bust, designed by John Flanagan in 1932, has been the standard design for this series for decades. Washington's dignified face is framed by the words "Liberty" above and the motto "In God We Trust" to the right. Below, we see the year of minting, 1992, marking the coin's place in American history. The reverse side of the coin, which features the American bald eagle, is equally as symbolic. The eagle, a symbol of the United States and its enduring strength, is surrounded by the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one, and quarter dollar as the coin's denomination. This side of the coin had remained largely unchanged since the original design was introduced in 1932, and it continues to reflect American ideals of freedom and unity in terms of minting details. The 1992 quarter was struck at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each mint facility produced coins with a slightly different finish. Philadelphia-produced quarters had no mint mark, while those struck in Denver were marked with a D, and those struck in San Francisco bore the S mint mark, particularly if the coin was a proof coin. The various mint marks allowed collectors to distinguish between coins from different mints, adding another layer of intrigue for those interested in collecting these quarters. But while the design of the 1992 quarter stayed largely consistent with its predecessors, there were certain aspects that would come to define this particular coin as something special. One of the key elements that sets the 1992 quarter apart from others is the sheer volume of coins that were struck that year. Unlike some other years in which mintages were relatively low, the 1992 quarter was produced in large numbers. However, as with all coins, only a small portion of those produced in 1992 would eventually be preserved in pristine condition, making those in excellent shape more valuable to collectors. Over the years, collectors began to recognize the importance of the 1992 quarter as a part of the Washington quarter series. As with any coin, collectors are drawn to certain years, mint marks, and varieties that stand out due to their rarity or unique qualities. But unlike some years where coins may be marked by notable minting errors, the 1992 quarter gained attention primarily due to its overall condition and rarity in mint state. Collectors often look for coins that have been preserved in high-quality condition, free from scratches, dents, and other forms of wear. A quarter from 1992 in perfect condition, with sharp details and little to no signs of handling, is considered a valuable find. As is the case with any rare collectible, the value of the 1992 quarter was further increased by its rarity in certain conditions. Coins that were graded as proof coins, those struck with a special process to create a high-quality, shiny finish, became highly sought after by collectors. These proof coins are produced in smaller quantities, which makes them rarer and more desirable. While many of the 1992 quarters were struck for general circulation, those produced in proof quality became a prized possession for coin enthusiasts. These proof coins are usually found with a special S mint mark, signifying that they were struck at the San Francisco Mint. But it wasn't until the 2000s that the 1992 quarter really started to gain significant attention in the collector market. As online platforms like eBay and specialized numismatic auctions gained popularity, more collectors began to take interest in rare and high-quality coins, including the 1992 quarter. The price of these coins started to rise steadily as demand for them increased. However, it wasn't until a particular discovery was made that the 1992 quarter would truly captivate the numismatic world that in 2012, an exceptionally well-preserved 1992 quarter with a rare minting error was discovered. This coin, which was free from the usual wear and tear of circulation, had a unique flaw, a slight misalignment in the design, causing a subtle double die effect on certain features. This was a noteworthy error, and it didn't take long before word spread among collectors and dealers alike. Coins with minting errors, especially those that are both rare and in perfect condition, are often among the most valuable in the market. This discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, and suddenly, the 1992 quarter became one of the most coveted coins for collectors. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and minting errors made the 1992 quarter an attractive investment for those who understand the intricacies of coin collecting. It was no longer just a coin worth 25 cents. It had become a symbol of rarity and quality that could command a premium price. As the years went on, the demand for these unique 1992 quarters only increased, and their value continued to rise. And then came the ultimate moment that would cement the 1992 quarter's place in numismatic history. In 2020, a 1992 quarter featuring a rare minting error and in almost perfect condition was auctioned off for an astounding $99,000. This coin, which had started as just another 25-cent piece in everyday circulation, had become one of the most expensive quarters in U.S. history. It was a stunning reminder that, in the world of coin collecting, the true value of a coin is not always tied to its face value, but rather its rarity, condition, and the story behind it. This incredible sale set a new benchmark for the 1992 quarter's value. Coins in perfect condition, especially those with rare minting errors or those produced as proof coins, now routinely fetch impressive sums. Collectors continue to seek out high-quality examples of the 1992 quarter, and its price has continued to rise as the years go on. What was once a modest coin is now a prized piece of American history, and it serves as a testament to the world of numismatics and the passion of collectors who seek out rare and valuable treasures. If you happen to come across a 1992 quarter in your spare change, it's worth taking a closer look. While most of them are still worth just 25 cents, you never know when you might find a rare, high-quality coin or one with a unique minting error that could be worth far more. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting out, the 1992 quarter represents a prime example of how even the most unassuming pieces of currency can carry incredible value. Just as the story of the 1992 quarter shows, in the world of coin collecting, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot more than you might think. Top for last but not the least, in 1998, a $quarter coin was minted that, at first glance, might seem like just another typical coin in circulation. It bears the familiar image of George Washington and is inscribed with the familiar words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty." But there's a lot more to the 1998 quarter than meets the eye. This seemingly ordinary coin has an extraordinary story, one that involves historical context, intricate design elements, meticulous minting, a rising collector appeal, and an impressive value that has shot up dramatically over time. To understand the significance of the 1998 quarter, it's essential to consider the historical backdrop against which it was produced. The United States in 1998 was in a period of economic growth, buoyed by a booming stock market and rising consumer confidence. At the same time, the U.S. Mint was continuing its long tradition of producing currency, but it was also adjusting to technological advancements in coin production. These advancements helped ensure that each coin was produced with greater precision, but also set the stage for future rarities that would be discovered later. The Washington quarter, which was the coin in question in 1998, was part of a series that had been in circulation since 1932. The coin featured a portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design by sculptor John Flanagan that had become iconic. Washington was the first president of the United States and is regarded as the father of the nation. Having his likeness on the quarter was a symbolic tribute to the man who helped guide the fledgling United States through its earliest years. The reverse side of the 1998 quarter featured an eagle, which had also been part of the design since the coin's inception. The eagle, a national symbol of strength and unity, is surrounded by the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one. Beneath the eagle, the coin is labeled as a $quarter, denoting its denomination. For the most part, this design had been unchanged for decades, and the 1998 quarter represented a continuation of this tradition. However, even though the 1998 quarter was part of a long-running series, it wasn't without its own unique features. In fact, this particular year of the Washington Quarter Series saw several interesting changes in the way the coin was minted. The U.S. Mint was operating multiple facilities, and the 1998 quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each of these facilities produced quarters with their own distinguishing mint marks. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, while Denver coins bore the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins marked with an S. One important aspect of the 1998 quarters production is that it was part of the Standard Series, which was designed for everyday circulation. However, in the world of coin collecting, what makes the 1998 quarter special is the combination of several factors. Most quarters of this era were mass-produced, and while the total number of coins struck in 1998 was high, the preservation of certain coins in mint condition was relatively rare. For coin collectors, this created an opportunity to find specific varieties of the coin in impeccable condition. And as we will see, some of those coins would go on to become highly valuable, fetching thousands of dollars at auctions and private sales. There is something inherently interesting about how certain coins, which might have otherwise been overlooked, become coveted collector items over time. In the case of the 1998 quarter, collectors began to pay closer attention to coins that had been produced with remarkable precision or those that had unique qualities, such as being well preserved in high-grade condition. In the world of numismatics, coins that are in near-perfect condition are often the most valuable. That's because they stand out among the many coins that were subjected to heavy use and wear over time. Coins that have been handled and circulated extensively often show signs of wear, with details like the face of George Washington becoming faint or the design elements on the reverse side of the coin fading. These signs of wear reduce a coin's overall value. However, coins that remain in pristine or mint condition, with their original sharp details and minimal signs of wear, can fetch impressive sums. And this is exactly where the 1998 quarter began to gain its appeal. The high-grade examples of this coin were soon seen as valuable investments in the world of coin collecting. In addition to the standard quarters, the U.S. Mint also produced proof coins in 1998, particularly for collectors. These proof coins were struck with a special process that resulted in a highly polished, mirror-like finish. Proof coins were typically made in smaller quantities than regular circulation coins, making them rarer and more desirable for serious collectors. The 1998 proof quarters, especially those struck at the San Francisco Mint, quickly became sought-after items. With their flawless appearance and limited mintage, proof quarters from 1998 began to make waves in the collecting community, further boosting their value. However, it wasn't until the 2000s that the 1998 quarter gained real traction among collectors. By then, online marketplaces and auction platforms had become popular spaces for collectors to buy and sell rare coins. Websites like eBay and dedicated numismatic auction houses allowed collectors from all around the world to easily access and bid on the coins they wanted. This accessibility, coupled with growing interest in coin collecting as a hobby, led to the discovery of just how rare certain 1998 quarters were, especially those in mint or proof condition. But the true breakthrough for the 1998 quarter came with the discovery of a specific variety, a coin with a notable minting error. Coin collectors are often on the lookout for coins with unusual characteristics or flaws that set them apart from the rest. In this case, the error occurred during the minting process, when a small portion of the coin's design was misaligned, resulting in a subtle but noticeable defect. This error made the coin unique and incredibly valuable. As word spread about this particular 1998 quarter, the price of these error coins surged, further adding to the coin's appeal. Numismatists and collectors began to identify the unique characteristics that made certain 1998 quarters stand out, and those coins began to fetch impressive sums at auctions. A high-quality 1998 quarter with a rare minting error or in near-perfect condition could now command thousands of dollars. The combination of the coin's rarity, its historical significance, and the demand among collectors created the perfect storm for its value to rise. And then, in 2016, something remarkable happened. A pristine 1998 quarter with a rare minting error, graded in almost perfect condition, was sold at auction for an astounding $79,000. This sale marked a turning point for the 1998 quarter, solidifying its place as one of the most valuable coins of its type. While most 1998 quarters are still worth just 25 cents, the one that sold for $79,000 had become a symbol of the extraordinary potential value that can be hidden in even the most everyday pieces of currency. This sale sparked even more interest in the 1998 quarter, and its value continued to climb. Today, high-quality 1998 quarters, especially those with minting errors or those in near-perfect condition, continue to attract serious attention from collectors. Whether it's a well-preserved circulation coin or a proof coin with a perfect finish, the 1998 quarter is now considered a sought-after piece in the world of numismatics. And who knows? You might have one in your pocket right now, just waiting to be discovered. The story of the 1998 quarter is a fascinating example of how a coin, seemingly ordinary in its time, can become a rare and highly valued collectible years later. For collectors, it serves as a reminder that the true value of a coin is not always immediately apparent. It's a story that unfolds over time, often driven by rarity, condition, and the evolving interests of the numismatic community as we reflect on the incredible rise of the 1998 quarter's value. It's clear that coin collecting is a world full of surprises. What starts as a simple piece of currency can evolve into a priceless treasure. So, the next time you come across a 1998 quarter, remember that it might just be worth more than you think. Whether it's a rare minting error, a pristine proof coin, or just a quarter in excellent condition, you could be holding on to a valuable piece of American history. Thanks for watching and learning. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more great content. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.